And we're going to make you all look good. Thank you, Violet. She came to brought our microphone back. So welcome to you and welcome to all of our special frequent viewers.
Yes.
Taylor Vivians, Pat Kinney, Billy Bailey, and Yakubu Agbese.
Yes, Charles Metzger, Gretchen Harris-Suter, Jim Gardner, and Krista Reginator.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching us right now, hey, y'all.
Yep.
Right?
Hey, that's right. That's right.
And if you're watching us on MediaCom Channel 17, hello to the future, because this show will be on next Friday.
That's right. Next Friday and Saturday.
Right.
Okay.
We got a great show lined up for you today. I'm Rocky.
And I'm Shaviva.
And we are so excited to have you here today.
For sure.
Talking point will be...
Our talking point is remaining classy and removing yourself from situations that might take you out of character is a superpower.
Yes, you got to learn how to do that. Otherwise, you'll be throwing stuff at people and fighting and punching and acting a fool. So you got to know how to keep that stuff suppressed, you know, and walk away from those situations. And also, we talked about in our pre-show that if we're truly a great nation, the truth will not destroy us. Nicole Hannah-Jones says that. That's
right. She shared that with us. Today we're going to be talking about William and Ellen Craft.
Yes.
Okay, this is an amazing story. As a matter of fact, they even wrote a book about it. It was sort of a great escape kind of situation. But you'll hear more. Yeah.
Well, What did the graphic say? I think Agnes took it down. But here's the kind of the gist of it. William and Ellen Craft escaped enslavement in 1848. Ellen's light complexion allowed her to dress as a white man. She then claimed William was her slave, and they traveled first class all the way. Now, ain't that some overcoming?
So they did it big, didn't they?
Right. I love those kind of stories of resilience and determination.
Indeed.
All right. Newsflash, we got us two guys, and one of them can sing. Can you sing?
No.
Okay, he says he can't sing, but he gonna sing today.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, we want you to stick around. We have an artist that's gonna perform, and it's gonna be a great, awesome first show of the year.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to introduce our two guests waiting in the wings.
Okay.
We have. To my right, we have, where are you? There you are. We have Troy Morris, a new business owner. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Thanks for being here. And to my left, we have Jaelon Jones, who has been a guest on our show a few times. Ooh. And he's coming into New Year, new look. Going to do a wonderful thing for us today. All right.
That's right. Welcome to both of you.
Yes.
Let's give them a hand, everybody. And you brought your lovely wife. Don't leave without your Boom Shakalaka coffee cup.
All right.
Okay, because she gets one for being in our audience. And if you guys would like to come to our audience, join one of our guests, you're welcome to join us. Agnes and Ed and Lori and them, I guess we're just going to give it to Agnes and Ed. They got the place looking like a real audience. You see the chairs aren't jostled all around?
I see. That's awesome. Hey, New Year.
We appreciate it. That's a New Year look. All right. We usually talk about a magazine called The Soul Town. So you get to get introduced to the Soul Town now.
Okay.
Do you know, I know, Jaelon, you've heard about the Soul Town.
I've heard of it.
Yes. And I don't know if you have or not, but.
I haven't.
Are you from Waterloo?
I'm not. I'm actually from Bakersfield, California.
Nice. Yeah. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
Excited to be here.
This is up. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as long as there's people who don't know about the Soul Town, our job is not done.
That's right.
Okay. So, yeah, it was started right here in Waterloo by Cherie Kaba. She's she's not really a Waterloo native, but she grew up here and used to write for the newspaper. She started this publication, and it's got all kinds of great things of interest. It's got, it's got advice, it's got recipes, it's got topical stories, so many different things, and beautiful pictures. And the digital version even has us.
That's right. You can actually press play. Oh, there's a great picture. We have to show this one because Derek Holmes, he makes up a word every month. Right? And then you got us here. Where's the camera? Okay, you see us right there?
There we are.
Yeah,
Great photo.
Yeah, you can press play and hear all of today's show or last week's show, whichever one they have loaded up. So get your copy today, either the digital version at thesoultownmagazine.com
Or your print version at Earth's Beauty Supply, 704 Franklin, here in Waterloo.
Okay.
Yes.
And now our talking point, which is brought to you by Locke Funeral Services today, who is our sustaining collaborator. We really appreciate them.
For sure.
All right.
Yes.
And today we're going to learn how to remain classy. You know how, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time. It's not a foolproof method though.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Jaelon?
It definitely takes practice and like constant revisiting, grounding, and just enough humility. But
Yes.
I like to think I know how to stay classy.
Good. Because, you know, sometimes the microphone's not plugged in. Thank you, Violet. So sometimes, you know, it's a superpower. We're claiming it as a superpower because, you know, some people can just push all of your buttons until
Yes.
you don't know what to do. You don't know how you're going to react or what you're going to say. So sometimes it's better just to namaste right in front of the mirror before you go out. You know, like, I'm not going to let anything before you go into a situation. What do you think, Shaviva?
Yeah, we shouldn't allow other people to put us in a reactive mode. You know, you should be proactive about how you approach things. And it's not that nothing can upset you. Stuff upsets me as much as anybody else, I guess. But far as what I'm going to bring to you, we're not going to be back and forth and blow stuff up.
Right. If you know, you're one of the coolest people I know. I don't think, Laura, you ever see her get really angry and start? Now, you on the other hand, Laura. But no, Shaviva, you are so cool.
I'm like, I don't know.
I've seen her once.
The
Really?
Hulk.
But it was real cool. It was real cool.
Oh.
And you knew not to mess with her.
Okay.
She came cool, but it was the only time.
Yes.
I've never seen her.
The Incredible Hulk, when that show used to come on, he said, "What are you getting angry?" He said, "No." He said, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry."
Okay.
So
Same.
that's kind of me. So,
Yeah. How about you?
One of the things my wife and I have been in the ministry for quite some time, and one of the things that we learned early on is that everybody's got a story.
Yes.
And you don't know what their past is. You don't know the pain they've dealt with. You don't know what's put them in the place or in life that causes them to lash out, that causes them to be angry. So if you just offer a little bit of grace,
Yeah.
if you just, you know, they're not mad at me, they're mad at the situation they're in, something of that sort. It's easy to let it go, and as long as you can take your pride out of it.
Yeah, that's
you know,
the thing.
that's the challenge, because we all want to be right. We all want to look smart. We all want to, you know, have this perception that we've got it figured out.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to lay it down.
Right.
You know, and you got to lay it down. And you got to let people just feel what they feel at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And marriage is a whole other thing. You got to get along with your wife, you know, so you don't want to have all those blow up episodes whether you have children or not. Violet, do you have comments?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so Velveeta Robertson says, I'm eating too much holiday food.
Stop it.
Real.
And she says, determination overcomes any problems we might have.
All right.
And Hit Woo Ron Mormon says, Happy New Year.
Oh, good to see you. That's that water, right? Remember him? H2O.
Oh,
There
yes,
you
yes,
go.
yes. Okay.
Yes. Jaelon,
Yes.
did you want to comment on being cool? Because you look really cool right now.
I'm glad the, what do you call it, the jewelry and the artifacts are eye-catching and whatnot. I appreciate that. If anybody watched the last episode I was on when I was promoting my book, that's kind of what led me to write, is like, I just learned how meditation can impact somebody, and specifically somebody who grew up without a religion or a set of beliefs.
Right.
So when I started meditating, I started understanding kind of that grace that you were talking about and how to separate myself from the situation. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty handy.
Yeah, that grace is something else. And in Christianity, I know you want to be in the spirit more than the flesh. Because on the outside, we want to We want to just get mad and do it, but then
Yeah.
if you really focus on what your inner heart is saying, you won't do the wrong thing.
We've all got buttons to be pushed.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, for sure. Well, thanks for entertaining that question. And now we're going to hear a little bit from Violet and learn more about our Give It Air subject. And I think the camera, is going to be on Violet. She's so anxious to do this. Thank you, Violet.
Oh, she's going to do great.
Can you tell us all about that couple?
Yes, ma'am. While most enslaved people ran away under the cover of night, William and Ellen Craft, a married couple, escaped in broad daylight in 1848, while disguised as master and servant. Ellen and her husband, William, came up with an escape plan. They both secured travel passes from their masters, and Ellen, who was very light-skinned and could pass for white, dressed as a sickly cotton planter, while William acted as his servant. Since neither of them could read or write, they placed Ellen's arm in a sling so she wouldn't have to be faced with potential having to sign anything. Also, her face was bandaged to hide her feminine looks and so that she wouldn't have to speak much with other travelers. To the world, they looked like a master in poor health traveling with his trusted servant. They traveled first class by train and steamboat, staying in the best hotels along the way.
Wow.
They arrived in Philadelphia on Christmas Day, where they were assisted by abolitionists and taught to read and write. From there, they moved to Boston and eventually fled to England to escape slave hunters looking to capture them. Under the Fugitive Slave Act in 1860, they wrote a book about their daring escape called Running 1,000 Miles for Freedom. They returned to the United States in the 1870s and started a school in Georgia for newly freed black people.
Wow.
All right.
Give her a hand,
crazy.
guys. That was a lot
Yeah.
to read. But what an amazing story, Troy. What do you think about that?
Takes courage.
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 Yes.
Unsurmountable courage.
Oh my goodness. And when you think about Harriet Tubman and all the people that ran underground by night and did certain things, these people were creative, right?
Yes.
Talk about overcoming.
They knew what their deficits were because neither of them could read or write. It was against the law for them to know how to read or write. And a lot of times people did not, there were exceptions where certain, owners would teach their slaves to read and write, but it was they didn't know how, so it was they figured out a workaround for that.
Sure.
Wrapping up her arm so that she wouldn't have to sign.
Talk about faith.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And trust.
Yes, faith and trust. And a lot of time enslaved people didn't have nothing else to go on but their faith. And some of the faith that they actually had to learn from was from a slave Bible, which took out the good parts. They didn't want them liberated or feeling like they could be free. So it's just amazing. And did you have anything you wanted to comment about their resilience?
I just think that it's particularly interesting how they use music to communicate.
Yes.
And the hymns and stuff. There's so much just cool history about how they wrote those songs that they sang and whatnot. Or obviously didn't write, but you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, it is. It's amazing. We always like to point out the good things and the positive things when we give it air, because sometimes airing things out and some of the hard stuff is too hard to talk about. So we like to talk about these resilience that
and just a bit of history that most people don't know a lot about. So.
But Shaviva, I was surprised you knew all about the story. Had you ever heard of this couple?
No.
Okay.
Had you? No, Shaviva. I tell my grandkids if I don't even have to call Google or search nobody, I call my best friend. She'll know it all.
No, just I don't know. Well, I told you, I grew up in Chicago. Went through that. Basically almost 100% black educational system, and so some of the things that I ended up learning are not some of the things that maybe people learn in other school systems or whatever. So
not to mention that you read the encyclopedia for fun.
Well, okay, so just tell people I was a nerdy kid. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Just telling people how much we're
That's
going to
cool.
miss you because you're so full of
People pray for
knowledge.
wisdom.
That's right.
People pray for wisdom, and here you are.
Wise beyond measure. Yeah. Well, thank you. And hopefully our viewers learned something from our Give It Air today. I found it a very great subject. So Yeah, and before we start talking to our guests, I just always want to shout out our crew. I'm calling them our crew, but Ed.
Yes. Yes.
Ed, come over here and take a bow, will you? He's like,
Ed is like, you knew Ed was not going to come over here, right?
And you guys are going to be seeing more of Ed and Agnes. We're going to have an Ed and Agnes show one day. Agnes back there in the studio behind the scenes, and of course Diane, and of course Lori.
And Lori.
Yeah.
And
Violet, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
All right, Violet. And that's Lori making all that noise. She's the one.
Okay.
All right, Violet, we have more comments.
Yes, ma'am. Velveeta Robertson says, there arrives determination again.
Ooh, I'm telling you, that's the truth. All right, well, we're going to wait. We're going to put you, let's see. Okay, Troy, Jaelon is really first. So I'm thinking, but no, that's alphabetically. We're going to talk to you first because we're going to let you perform us out right before the birthday song.
Exactly.
Sometimes I have to decide on the spot.
That's all right.
Okay, Troy, what do you got for Troy, Shaviva?
Well, Troy, tell our audience a little bit about yourself. You mentioned right off that you're not from here, you're from California. So
I
just
am.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in Bakersfield, California, never lived anywhere else. It's an oil and ag community. It's a bunch of hardworking people. It's actually a really good place for the most part. You know, we started vacationing. My son races dirt cars, and in Iowa, you've got a huge dirt track community. And so we started vacationing in Iowa about 4 years ago and coming out and spending some summers out here. And really just fell in love with the people and the weather.
Nice.
You know, it's 85 degrees here and humid, yeah, but it was 115 at home.
Oh, my
You know,
God.
yeah, it's so miserable. They say it's dry heat, but it just feels like a blow dryer.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the racing got you to come here, the motocross, is it motocross?
It's
or-
circle track cars.
Circle track cars.
Yeah.
Like stock cars?
Stop, basically,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
And so that's what brought us here originally. We met some people here in Iowa, and they live in Cedar Falls, and they took us in. It's like extended family, and so we started staying with them when we'd come back and visit, and it's just kind of grown from there. And then about 4 years ago, my wife and I started looking actively for places to move outside of California. We just felt like we needed to be somewhere else. And so when we came to Waterloo in Cedar Falls, the first time my wife was here, she was like, I'm not going home.
Oh,
And-
really?
and
I love it.
Wow.
I thought, you know, because it took me 2 years just to get her to come out here.
Okay.
And she had the premise that it's all cornfields and,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
nothing.
Nice.
Exactly.
So many people think that.
And so I got her out here and she was like, okay, I'm not going home. So literally I had to go home by myself.
She
And
meant
then,
it too.
and she stayed with our friends and with my eldest son and hung out for a couple of weeks. And then I came back and we did some racing and then went home. But everybody's just welcoming. You know, we've met a lot of great people. The community's beautiful.
Thank
you know,
you,
there's-
because that's what our show is all about.
There's-
Yeah.
How much good stuff we have. so.
There, you know, when I'm sure you guys watch the news. California
Oh,
is
yes.
full of tent cities and full of litter and crime and hostility. You know, and so you just can drive down your freeways here and they're not littered with trash. You know, you drive down a freeway in our own town and there's just debris all up and down the roadways. You stop at a stop sign, people throw their trash out
I
of
would
their
hate
car.
that so
It's out of
much. I
control.
see what-
See, when I think
Welcome.
California,
Yeah.
when I think California, I think, you know, beautiful weather.
Beach.
Yeah.
That's because that's what
Yeah.
they want you to think.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to your new business.
Oh, exciting.
Talk about that. And sandwich shop, big building. What are the plans?
Okay, so we started looking for a building a year ago when we decided that this was going to be our destination. And this building has been on the market for 2 years, and it just sat empty. And so when I was back here in the spring, actually it was the summer of this year, I went and looked at it, and it's massive. It's 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's way more building than I need for a sandwich shop, obviously.
Right.
However, I don't just want to have a sandwich shop. You know, we want to open a dinner restaurant in there at some point. I'm a sign contractor by trade, so we want to bring our sign business in.
Nice.
So there's 4 businesses that we plan on utilizing that space for, so it works out for us.
Wow.
it economically it made the most sense, you know. But
Yeah, and sandwiches, what are we starting with?
so apparently
Bologna.
no Midwesterners. I didn't realize you guys didn't eat pastrami.
Oh, yes, we do.
A lot of
Some
people
of
don't.
us do. I'm from
I
Chicago,
love
so
Yeah.
pastrami.
Chicago, yes.
Yeah.
Iowans, I guess it's not really a big thing back here, and so
It's
you
gonna
get.
be.
It's gonna be. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
when you try a pastrami sandwich, you're gonna be like, "What have I been missing?"
I know,
You know.
right?
So our sandwiches are different. They're oven baked, which means we don't just take and throw cold cuts together. We actually
No bologna. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we have stuff that will get you out of your comfort zone.
Good.
You know,
I
what
love
we're
it.
doing is we're bringing a culmination of different types of sandwiches, and we're hopefully going to stretch your guys' taste buds a little bit and kind of entice you to try something a little bit different. But all of our sandwiches, we grill the meat rather than just microwave it or steam it or heat it up inside the bun. And we grill it with butter and with garlic, and then we assemble a sandwich that's on a buttered garlic roll. And we bake it in the oven, then we add all the cold ingredients. So you get lettuce and tomatoes and pepperoncinis and salt and pepper and vinegar on it after it's been baked. So you bite it and it's just as hot and cold.
I could taste it.
So you
know.
teaching us how to make a sandwich, basically.
Right.
I ain't scared.
Okay.
I ain't scared. Okay. There's no secrets.
Okay.
Right. And Agnes said she had some questions. Is she telling you what to ask? Because everybody is so excited because that building. Do you have a question, Lori?
Yes, I do. So what do you have for the vegetarians out here?
We are working on it because initially I believe food should make you fat.
Okay.
Like,
You think food
That's
can
a
make
good
you
one.
fat? Okay.
I think it's got to be full of flavor and loaded with
Yeah.
butter, and it's got to have all that stuff in there for flavor. I mean,
But what about your arteries? Okay.
our days are numbered.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Oh,
that
good
I
one.
So
Yeah.
her question was, what are we going to have for vegetarian options?
Yes.
We do have a vegetarian sandwich on the menu. We do have vegetarian salads. There's not a lot you can do in a sandwich shop.
Portobello mushrooms.
Oh,
did I say that?
honey, yes. Portobellos are full of.
Yep,
yeah,
portobello mushrooms
baked
are
that,
amazing.
cheeses.
Amazing.
Well,
So
you can have Lori Dale. She'll make a recipe for you. She'll
sounds like a deal.
okay.
Call it the Lori.
Call
Yeah.
it the
Yeah.
Lori.
Yeah.
You got to have a boom shakalaka sandwich.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I think Violet may have a question or two.
We have comments.
Comments,
Okay.
please.
Okay, so Derek Holmes says, #1 talk show ever.
Yes.
my goodness.
we
All
love
right.
the
Hey,
praise.
Derek.
Yes.
And
Thank
so
you,
Peter
Derek.
Robertson says, welcome to Iowa, Troy. Iowa was good for me for over 40 years.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I appreciate the
Yes.
welcome.
Welcome. We just love that you're here. And what else do you want our viewers to know in closing about your beautiful new space? When can we expect to see?
We hope to be open the first week of March. We're going through the permitting
Wow.
process. We don't mess around.
Okay.
I'm really anxious to get it up and running. A building that size isn't cheap to sit vacant.
Oh, honey, I
you know.
bet. Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to say anything, it would be, you got to try it. You really
Yes,
do. You just
okay.
got to experience it. We'll do takeout options. We'll have dine-in, sit down and get served options.
Oh, nice.
You know, it'll be a deli. We can do deli trays. I mean, it's going to be something like you guys haven't experienced here.
I love
And I'm excited.
All
Did I
right.
see something about live music going on in there?
Yes.
Live music
Okay.
too.
Yes.
You're gonna. Oh my goodness! You know Brian Sink? You probably do.
I-
And Bill,
no, don't yet.
the blue band.
I don't yet.
Bob Dorr.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get them. Those
No, we're
people there.
the dinner restaurant is going to have a venue with live music.
Oh,
we are
nice,
going to do a
nice.
worship night once a week because that's my faith. You
Okay,
know,
sure,
and
of
it's
course.
there's a lot of controversy on the post about you have to go through church to get to a sandwich shop. It's not that
Oh,
way.
there, yeah.
It's one building, but it's like going into the valley or the mall.
Sure.
You know, they're all separated out. It's all individually compartmentalized. So
Gotcha.
you're not going to feel like you're stepping into a temple to come
There
get
you
a
go.
sandwich shop. It's not
Okay.
like
Right.
that.
Well, you
Okay.
can
As
solve
you're
some
open-
of those other problems as they come up.
And as you
online.
get closer to your projected opening time, definitely please keep us updated as
Oh, yeah.
far as what's
We'll be
going
there.
on. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
be there. We'll go live. And
Yeah, you
show
guys have to
everybody.
come out and do a broadcast from there.
We
Yeah.
certainly would love to. All right, Violet. Thank you, Lori.
Peter Robertson says mushrooms with a lot of fire emojis.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Because I think she liked that portobello mushroom. So they'll have some vegetarian choices. They'll have everything you need. Just follow our page and find out more about Troy's Sandwiches.
Absolutely.
And we want you to sing the birthday song with us if you're up to it when we get there.
All right.
Okay, we got a performance by Mr. Jaelon. Talk about this book, though, real quick. People want to get your book, too.
Yeah, Something in the Air, my memoir. I'm going to have physical copies on me next Friday. I'm doing my signing event at The Vibe in Cedar Falls. Cool. I mean, it's called The Vibe.
I love
but like,
it, right. How
you
can
walk
go wrong?
into the place and it just feels like cozy and just like the atmosphere just like absorbs you. So I was like, dang, I wonder if they would do something like this. So I have books on me there.
Awesome.
If you want to read about my journey to spirituality and meditation and why I'm doing EDM now instead of rap and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Love it. And instead of our birthday song, we're going to have a song from Jaelon. And I imagine that it's not no profanity.
It's friendly.
It's friendly.
It's friendly.
That's what I wanted to know.
All right,
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you.
I'm curious if I can steal that mic instead of using
Sure.
this one because it just gives me,
It
more
makes
of a
you feel better.
performance.
You can use both. You can grab that one. Is that right, Ed? Will that be a problem? Okay. Go ahead and Violet, will you slip that off and hand it to him because he's still tethered?
Oh, I can move it. It's fine.
Well, I don't know. Does he need this one too, Ed, to be on? Because we're on MediaCom.
Okay.
And then did you guys just want to play it?
Do we want to what?
Want me to play it?
Ed's got that.
Yep. You should be connected, I think, still.
It's always feel around, see what happens. How does it work? We're going to get there.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Keeps the
So,
charm.
yeah, that's my song right there.
We're not professionals.
For anybody who's ever heard an EDM song, it's not going to sound like a traditional just EDM song because that's usually just music. But I was saying on top of this EDM type beat, it's called Magic in the Matter, or MITM for short. And it's basically an introduction into like kind of some of the stuff I studied and then translated into music. So it's like me kind of talking to myself through my music, I guess.
Tell us
All
what
right.
EDM even is.
Electric dance music.
Oh,
All right.
right. That's right. We get to dance. And you like to sing and dance, I hear. Okay.
Okay.
It might not be everybody's forte, but
That's
that's cool.
okay.
I'm
We're
gonna get y'all
so-
swaggy, you know.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You, Lord, you are devil.
You try too hard not to follow intuition down the portal. Become the witness to the wisdom. Focus the vision, and there you are. You are, you are, you are, you are what you are. I'm from the stars. But let's not start the fat, let's get back to basics. Say you really wanna know how these paces. Thinking I can show you with my vibration. Been it too long, I feel like I'm invading. But are we on a just one? Let's just all be love. All be love, thought it was obvious. I feel like cosmic dust. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I followed all the rabbit holes. I said you tried too hard not to follow intuition down the portal. Become the witness to the wisdom. Focus the vision, and there you are. You are, you are, you are. You are anything that you could wanna be. It's magic in you. It's magic in me. Huh. Don't get confused with reality. I usually sing in auto-tune, so it sounds better.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
that's all right.
Amazing.
Okay.
I love it. What a wonderful vibe. I like that. It was almost like what was it?
Call
Shaniqua?
that again. The title, Magic in the
Matter.
Oh, Magic
in
in
the
the
Matter.
Matter. Interesting.
Wow.
Well, that was your birthday song, birthday people. I hope you enjoyed it. And that was to Troy Goodson, Gabriel Benson, Marcina Clark, Jason Doris, Erica Sadler, and Pamela Alexander.
Yes, and David Van Arsdale, Mary Brown, Donnell Rivers II, Chuck Dale.
Chuck Dale.
All right.
Yes.
Doug
Lori's
Knudsen
brother.
and Oli Leach. Happy birthday
Happy
to all of
birthday.
you. Yes.
Let's clap for Jaelon and
Yes.
the birthday people and Kat Morris,
Woo-hoo,
whose birthday
that's
is
right.
today, right?
Kat Morris,
My beautiful
yes.
wife.
Your beautiful wife.
All right. Happy
Yes,
birthday, Kat.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jaelon, for that wonderful rendition of the birthday song.
Absolutely.
All right.
That was amazing, as are you, Jaelon. And we've watched you kind of transform for the last 3 or 4 years, and you've just become like this whole new makeover, it seems. Because you were, I mean, remember Shaviva? Okay.
Well, no,
Tell
you
me,
just...
But yeah, remember, he didn't seem so outgoing when we first met him, you know, this young person. And now all of a sudden, the last 3 years, I think that I can tell you've been meditating or getting in touch with spirit, your spirit.
Metamorphosis,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
We
Yeah.
love
Just
it.
doing what I can to evolve. You know.
Yes, yes. And shout out to your dad, the
Yes,
veteran.
huge
And
shout out.
we love Chris Jones and all he does. Okay, what else, Shaviva?
Well, I'm saying this has been a wonderful first show of the year.
As seasoned women, and we got
yes.
some great guests coming up, but you'll have to wait and see who they are. But as
Okay.
seasoned women and queenagers, that's what we
right.
are, queenagers,
That's
right?
right.
We've seen some things, and there are a few things we want to tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that life has no limitations except the ones we make.
Okay.
All right?
Yes. And I've learned that there's only one big risk we should avoid at all costs, and that's the risk of doing nothing.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Keep it moving, y'all. And until next week, we want you to keep doing more stuff that makes you awesome, like Troy Morris and his lovely wife, Kat. Come on over here so everybody, because she's so pretty. Can you come over and just get in the shot while we say goodbye? And it's her birthday. She's got her coat on, but it's okay. Come right over here.
Okay.
You can stand by your husband. I guess that'd be the best place for you. See? Now
Yeah, squat down, baby.
out a little bit. Yeah, she's a talker.
Okay.
All right, and until next week.
That's right. And like Jaelon,
Yes, and like Jaelon, the
and
artist.
all of you who have been hanging in with us, keep on doing more of what makes you awesome, because it makes us all look good.
And he got
Yes.
out of singing. So how about that?
Okay.